The first month of the season now in the rear view, and these two sides hoping April brings a renewal and a reversal of their fortunes. It's an Eastern Conference clash between FC Cincinnati 2 and NYC FC 2 in the Big Apple, New York City. Welcome inside Belson Stadium along with our Season Pass team. I'm Jake Griffith. Thanks for joining us. NYC FC 2, they've had a penchant for giving up goals over their last two matches. 8 combined allowed in their last 180 minutes played, 5 of those in their last matchup against Carolina Core FC. FC Cincinnati 2 hopes that means they can pick the offense up. They're the lowest scoring team in MLS NEXT Pro this season. We take a look at the starting 11. First for NYC FC 2 and head coach Matt Pilkington, a 4-2-3-1 formation. 4 changes from match week 4, including Drew Baera coming down from the first team. He gets his first appearance since the season opening win against Columbus Crew 2. For FC Cincinnati 2 and head coach Tyrone Marshall, a 3-5-2, an attacking 3-5-2 formation. 3 changes and a shape change coming in to match week 5. New signing Yamir Ukulmana will make his first appearance after signing an MLS NEXT Pro contract back on April 3rd, just earlier this week. Also, the shape change came out in a 5-4-1 against Chicago Fire 2. Tyrone Marshall said earlier in the week, we've had a week off to reset things, to refocus, and he felt like it was a positive week off for this FC Cincinnati 2 side, saying that, look, this is just like a puzzle. We're trying to fit some of these pieces together. They were an older team last season. They've been infused with some youth, and he said that has caused some early season struggles for this FC Cincinnati 2 side, but he really likes where their head is at coming into match week 5. In that loss against Chicago Fire 2, he said he was impressed with how they started. They were bright, they were on the front foot. That was positive, but as the match carried on, he felt like maybe some of that attention and that focus really waned. These two sides all familiar with one another. They've been meeting since all the way back in the inaugural season of MLS NEXT Pro back in 2022. This is the 7th all-time meeting. FC Cincinnati 2 has taken at least 2 points in 2 of the last 3 matchups with NYC FC 2. A 5-0 loss for NYC FC 2. They enter on the heels of against Carolina Core FC. Matt Pilkington was pretty direct earlier this week, saying we're looking for improvements in every single area. Flat out, it was a really poor performance. They were held without a shot on target in that contest for the first time in a match in club history. To give you an idea of how poor the performance was, in the words of their head coach. Pilkington really keyed in on the fact that he wants to see more effort in the attack tonight against FC Cincinnati 2. Said attacking-wise, we need to generate more opportunities. This season, they have generated the 12th most big scoring chances of any team in MLS NEXT Pro, but much like their goal allowing woes over the last 180 minutes, the scoring woes have set in just a tad bit as well. Just 2 combined big scoring chances for NYCFC's attack in the last 180 minutes combined. They had no shortage of opportunities the last time these sides met. A 3-1 win for NYC FC 2 against FC Cincinnati 2 in their final matchup of 2024. Very physical matchup as well. 8 yellow cards, 3 combined red cards. 3 reds, all issued in stoppage time. Just about set to kick things off here at Belson Stadium, home of the St. John's Red Storm, the Division I collegiate team out of the Big East Conference. Stephen Foster, our center referee, he sounds the whistle, and we are underway between NYCFC 2 and FC Cincinnati 2. NYCFC in the all-white, FC Cincinnati in the blue with the orange horizontal stripes on the front of the kits. Belson Stadium here in the state of New York. Along with our Season Pass team, I'm Jake Griffith. Thanks for joining us for match week 5 action of MLS Next Pro. This worked out wide to Drew Baera. Lays it off and gets it back. Now worked over to Colin McCamey, 54th overall pick in this year's MLS Super Draft. He guides it back to Prince Mpansa, who receives it once again from Max Murray. Alex Rando will get the start in goal for the second consecutive match. Rando, 3 saves, 7 goals allowed as his distribution errant to that far touchline and out for an FC Cincinnati 2 throw-in. 3 straight losses for FC Cincinnati 2 to open the 2025 campaign, but there's no panic on the touchlines for Tyrone Marshall and his coaching staff. He said, look, we're close. We've had good scoring chances. We're showing incremental improvement. FC Cincinnati 2 getting on the score sheet back in match week 3, as there is a foul and a free kick given to FC Cincinnati 2. He also said, look, last season through 3 matches, we had 1 point. This season, we have no points. So we're just 1 point off our pace from last year. This is an FC Cincinnati 2 side that in their final 23 matches, or I should say 25 matches of 2024, finished with 53 points, ended up finishing atop the Eastern Conference table, making the MLS Next Pro playoffs for the first time in club history. Rolled to the touchline or the end line. This peeled back inside. Touch it inside. It's won back by Elias. And now Julian Locker, who goes down. That will draw a whistle from Stephen Foster. Quickly restarted here by NYCFC 2. Baera gave it back up to Prince Mpansa. Baera, the homegrown, signed a deal back in July of 2023, has options through 27 and 28 on that contract. Over to Mpansa, not the best of passes back to Mpansa. Have to watch out with Kenji and Bomadim sniffing around in the area. 7 goals, 12 goal contributions last season. Another whistle from Stephen Foster as an NYCFC 2 player is down. Tavon Gray on the outside. He'll swing it through to Prince Mpansa. Upwards of 7 players who have experience with the NYCFC first team on the field as Baera has a rip. It's fumbled there by Paul Walters, rolling across the end line and conceding the first corner of the match to NYCFC. Look at why this NYCFC 2 side so thrilled to have Drew Baera back in with them, really forcing the issue and leading the charge. First corner of the match to NYCFC. Sailing to that back post, headed away. Tavon Gray will throw it in. First ever Bronx native to sign with NYCFC is Tavon Gray back in 2019. Homegrown signing. And now here's NYCFC 2 on it again. Another whistle for a foul. Matt Pilkington, head coach for NYCFC2, he said how NYCFC manages and controls the ball, creates more opportunities with the possession they have, will be a key to the match tonight, as his side hopes to end their 2-match losing skid. The biggest theme for NYCFC this season, they want to have possession. They want to be in control of the match, but it's about being intentional with that possession. Pilkington telling his team, don't just have it just to have it. Make the right pass. Wait for the options to open up. Things starting to open up now for NYCFC. Elias delivers it out wide to Baera. Whistled off the ball is Baera, but he will have a throw in. Molinari now, losing ground to the Pigeons. This NYCFC2 team has been a different team at Belson Stadium this season. They've won 4 of their last 5 matches played dating back to last year, but just 1 goal allowed. Meanwhile, half of their goals scored this season have come within the friendly confines. Back out wide, this is Colin McCamey. McCamey will slow the tempo up, gives it up. That's Elias. NYCFC Academy. The product is Jairo Elias. Back down that far channel, just out of the reach, and cleared away by Brian Schaefer. Here, the very pro Pigeons home atmosphere here at Belson Stadium. Drums as there's a whistle. Tyrone Marshall, FC Cincinnati 2 coach, he acknowledged that this is a tough environment for his bunch to come up and play in. They haven't had a ton of success seeking their first win in the state of New York against NYCFC. Ponce with it now. Steered back to Rando, former Virginia Cavalier. 2 ACC men connecting there with Mponsa, the former Wake Forest defender. A turnover, though, forced by FC Cincinnati 2, and they will opt to build things from the back. Worked up this near touchline. Telegraph pass intercepted by Baera. Looping ball played ahead, hoping to find Stefan Chirilla, and that is out for an NYCFC throw-in. Touch forward by Elias, out for another throw, NYCFC 2. This guided back to Paul Walters, 3rd appearance of the season in net for FC Cincinnati 2, former Northwestern goalkeeper as Walters. 7 saves, a 70% save percentage this season for Walters. And 3 stops in that loss against Chicago Fire 2 back on match day 3 for this FCC2 side. Errant pass, change of possession will occur via the throw in. Tavon Gray will have it. Now a whistle and a free kick given to FC Cincinnati 2. Tyrone Marshall said the biggest thing he's learned about his FC Cincinnati 2 side, they need to continue learning. It is sort of a feeling out process as the season continues on. He acknowledged we're a bit behind there in that learning process, and the biggest thing that he wants to see more out of them is being on the same page, the clarity, as Mbomedem gets play back going, headed toward goal and hacked away for a short clearance. Rolled forward, it's Baera. Elias fights off a challenge from Kinji Mbomedem. Now worked outside, it's Tavon Gray. To go down that far channel, thought he had Maximo Carrizo, instead it's cleared away. Now Max Murray will help this back on to Gray. Murray, the rookie out of Vermont, making his 6th consecutive start. Some trouble at the back perhaps here. And Ponsa calm under pressure. McCamey, long ball played ahead. Baera in behind, defender goes down. Baera centers one. Reed couldn't settle on it. FC Cincinnati 2, a sigh of relief on the FCC2 touchline. Molinari works it back ahead though. Here's Elias. NYCFC starting to flex those possession muscles right now. 76-24 advantage in possession time. Worked back outside to Baera. Baera, part of that star-studded NYCFC Academy class of 07, along with first-teamer Johnny Shore. That pass not online. Brian Schaefer will boot that away. Out for a clearance and an NYCFC throw in. Three matches, including this one currently underway to get match week 5 kicked off. Minnesota United 2 up early. Here is FC Cincinnati 2 as that gets booted across the end line, and FCC 2 will have a corner. This portion of the match is brought to you by St. John's University, the official undergraduate partner of NYC FC2. St. John's, the alma mater, speaking of Minnesota United, the alma mater of Tani Oluwaseyi. Just had a brace for Minnesota United's first team against Sporting Kansas City in their most recent MLS fixture. FC Cincinnati 2, in swinging ball, bouncing around, slotted home. FC Cincinnati 2 on the board. The former Portland Timbers man, Tega Ikoba. His first goal of 2025, 1-0, FC Cincinnati 2. Look at it again, looping in on a line drive corner. Tyrone Marshall challenged his team not just generate more scoring opportunities, but execute on them when they had them. Tega Ikoba taking that advice to heart and sending FC Cincinnati into an early lead. (1-0) at the restart in favor of the visitors. A turnover in the midfield, and Mbomedem now on it. FC Cincinnati 2, they've been so good, so adept at winning the ball back in the midfield. This will be a throw-in for NYCFC 2. 4th most ball possession won of any MLS Next Pro team in the midfield this season for FC Cincinnati 2. Being a good ball recovery team, a staff focal point, 4th most ball recoveries overall in the Eastern Conference last season. Cleared all the way ahead, guided back to Rando. Bit of a dangerous pass back to Rando. Tega Ikoba, who just scored, breathing down their necks. It is a throw in for FCC 2 into Chirilla. Stefan Chirilla, he goes down. earns a foul and a free kick for FC Cincinnati. Chirilla trained with the FCC first team during the preseason. Tyrone Marshall said earlier this week they're hoping that he has started to turn a corner a bit in his goal scoring. Didn't score in the preseason with the FC Cincinnati first team, and Marshall admitted, look, best strikers in the world, they thrive on confidence, but they really like where Stefan Chirilla is at the moment. This is NYC FC and Maximo Carrizo. Rolled through to McCamey. Now McCamey will cycle this around to Baera near side. And Ponsa switching ball back over to Gray. A bright start for FC Cincinnati 2. FCC2 player goes down, and that will be a whistle. Foul given to Julian Locker. After being held without a goal in their first 2 MLS Next Pro fixtures of the season, FC Cincinnati 2 have now scored in back-to-back contests, feeding more into that idea that this FC Cincinnati 2 coaching staff has preached earlier this week, that they are turning a corner. Goal clearance off the free kick gets play back underway. Across the touchline it goes, and change of possession will occur via the throw-in. Another ball won back in the midfield by FC Cincinnati 2, promptly cleared out for a New York City FC throw-in. Make that an FC Cincinnati 2 throw-in. Tavon Gray trying to tightrope the touchline, unsuccessful as he runs out of room, and York IF Caicedo will have a throw. Booted out of play again by FC Cincinnati 2, just trying to stymie those NYC FC counterattacks. That is something that Tyrone Marshall called a key to the match for FC Cincinnati 2, managing the transition moments, especially going up against a double pivot in the midfield from this NYC FC 2 side in their 4-2-3-1. We have a whistle and another foul. Marshall said the biggest area to watch out for when NYCFC rotates, they create a box in the midfield with the forward dropping in. He said that that is the biggest area that he has preached to his team in training this week, of organization, knowing where the ball is at, staying tight, staying compact. Almost 20 minutes in, and so far they have done a solid job of that despite being heavily outpossessed right now, 73-26 in favor of the Pigeons. This is Amir Daly, captaining FC Cincinnati 2 tonight, making his season debut. Tyrone Marshall had high praise for Amir Daly earlier in the week. He also said he's very excited as some trouble again here at the back. Worked up ahead to him, Bomadim! Advantage doubled. Kenji Mbomadem, K fantastique for the Frenchman. It's 2-0 FC Cincinnati 2.
Cincinnati goal scored in the 19th
Early on, NYCFC 2, they've had a bit of trouble maintaining possession at the back, some near giveaways, and now an errant clearance away from Alex Rando. Kenji Mbomadem does the rest. 2 goals in the first 20 minutes for FC Cincinnati 2. The lid has finally come off for FCC2 in the scoring department. (2-0) at the restart in favor of the visitors. Lifted ahead, out of the reach of Baera, and that will be a wasted ball forward. Amir Daly will throw it in. Just before that goal from Mbomadim, as I was saying, Tyrone Marshall very thrilled to have Amir Daly back. He said Amir Daly, one of those players that allows us to do what we want to do, get those balls out wide with crosses, long balls forward. They had a lot of veteran depth at the outside last year in 2024, and Tyrone Marshall acknowledged a player like the aforementioned Yorkaev Caicedo, still getting his feet under him. They're still showing him the ropes on what they're looking for at those outside positions, but Marshall said the re-addition of Amir Daly, a huge boost for FC Cincinnati 2. One back by NYCFC 2. Reed will volley it out wide. Maximo Carrizo now. Carrizo cuts it back, loops it through, it's cleared away, and now hacked away further for a clearance. Chirilla will have a throw for FC Cincinnati 2 as it's cleared out. Into Chirilla, who gives it back up. Sato trying to move with it, coughs it up. And now that's worked ahead to Elias. That pass out of the reach of McCamey. Countering now is FC Cincinnati 2. Up ahead, Ikoba. FCC2 will have the throw. Tega, Ikoba, and Kinji Mbomadim both scoring their first goals of 2025. Ikoba carries it wide, whips this cross in, top of the box, Mangione. He'll roll it out wide, it's Daly. Daly peels this back to Mangione. Fights off one challenge. Crisp passing right now for FC Cincinnati 2. This is Andre Chirilla. Left that ball short. It's one back by New York City FC. Played up ahead, a foot race. Paul Walters will just step out from goal and boot that away. This portion of the match is brought to you by Adidas, the official kit supplier for New York City FC2. This NYC FC2 side getting new home kits this season. Looks similar to last year, but a blue pigeon serves as the crest. Paying a little bit of homage to what some fans refer to them as their alternate nickname. It's a nickname that really has divided NYC FC fans, both at the first and second team levels, depending on who you talk to. Some love it, some hate it. Here is Mponsa. Elias gives it back up, Molinari now. Here's Max Murray. Two-time All-American East selection at Vermont. Also a national champion is Max Murray. Building now is NYCFC2. Defender goes down, it's Daly. Thumped away again by FC Cincinnati 2 though. FC Cincinnati 2 blitzing NYCFC 2 in the first 20 minutes. 2 goals from 2 different goal scorers. Carrizo leading the charge as New York City FC looking to pull one back. Out wide to Locker. His cross deflected out by Chirilla. Second corner of the first half coming for NYCFC. NYCFC struggled a bit on set-piece crosses, completing to 16% against Carolina Core. This one drops into the gloves of Paul Walters. Danger averted NYCFC showing that high pressure again. It is deflected out. Amir Daly will have the throw. Just steered back to Noah Adnan, the Maryland native. There is a whistle from Stephen Foster. Play quickly restarted. Noah Adnan getting his second start of 2025. Signed back in February of this year. Long ball played ahead, out of the reach of Yorkaev Caicedo. Caicedo, one of the new additions in the offseason for FC Cincinnati 2, came over from CD Cuenca of the Ecuadorian Serie A. That pass through the middle, left short, laid off. Over to Piero Elias. Played up ahead, it's Baera. Given back up to Elias. Tries to call his own number. Didn't have the numbers there. 3 defenders, just 1 Elias. NYCFC do recover. Now Murray lifts this one ahead to Reed. Reed is in. Still Reed now. Reed lays it off. Shot deflected. It falls to McCamey. Elias turns, finds Baera now. Baera's cross, back post, cleared away. A short clearance though, helped on by Daly. Now more of a decisive clearance there for FC Cincinnati 2. Long ball ahead again, looking for Seymour Reed. Recently making his MLS debut with the NYCFC first team. Reed exploded onto the scene. 3 goals in the club's first 2 matches of the season, but has gone goalless since. Still though, tied for second currently in MLS NEXT Pro in terms of goals scored. Here are the Pigeons now, trying to turn this again into something. McCamey will pull that ball in. Can't get past Amir Daly though. Jarilla will steer this to the back, and Noah Adnan. Noah Adnan, former 4-year Stanford Cardinal, has already made an impression on the FC Cincinnati first team coaching staff. Made 2 appearances in this year's CONCACAF Champions Cup with the first team. Now here's Julian Locker. Locker gets it back. 6th appearance, all starts this year for Julian Locker. Lifted ahead, looking for Piero Elias. Elias pulls it down. Back to Elias now. Still Elias. FC Cincinnati 2 staying compact. NYCFC 2 overruns the ball. And now here is Cincinnati transitioning defense to offense. Akoba to the byline. Able to straddle that stride from Tega Akoba. Impressive. Here's Chirilla now. Make that Mangione. Switched over to Amir Daly, who gives it back to Noah Adnan. You hear the chatter on the pitch from FC Cincinnati 2. That's another thing that Tyrone Marshall wants to see improved from his bunch. He says we need to be more vocal out there. That ball played ahead, looking for Akoba. Out of the reach of Tega Akoba. Now NYCFC looking to build and break out from the back here. FC Cincinnati 2 shifting into that mid-block again. McCamey able to break out. Ahead, it's Baera. Running free, they spring forward. Baera Cuts to his right, lays it off through the middle, touched inside and poked wide. Another promising build-up for NYCFC, but nothing to show for it. A goal kick given. This, though, a heads-up play from Drew Baera. Just knifes to his right, has a man flashing inside, and Maximo Carrizo tries to lay it off. A little bit too much congestion inside the penalty area. Still 2-0 in favor of FC Cincinnati. Adnan again. Intercepted and won back by McCamey. There's McCamey turning away from pressure from Kinji and Bomadem. Both teams with 2 shots as we have played over a half hour now, but FC Cincinnati 2, a 2-1 advantage in shots on target. Here's NYCFC 2, quickly in business. Cut to the byline. This ball centered. No one on the receiving end of the cross, and Daly will hack it away. Elias gives it up to Baera, who leaves it off for Elias. Ponsa changes the angle of the attack. Here's Gray. Now Locker over to Carrizo. Can't get past those 2 defenders. One back by FC Cincinnati 2. Calm under the pressure right now is FC Cincinnati 2, playing with tons of confidence in this first half. Up to Daly. This is more in line with what Tyrone Marshall wants to see from his bunch. Utilize 1, 2, 3, 4 quick passes in the midfield. Try to spread a team out and then use those long balls to stretch the pitch. Try to switch the angle of the attack. Here's Daly. Mangione now. Chirilla ahead, looking for Caicedo. Caicedo can't maintain possession. Now Locker tripped up. That will be a whistle and a free kick given. There is an FC Cincinnati player also down. How about the start for FC Cincinnati 2? 2 goals from 2 different scorers inside the first 20 minutes. Ekoba gets on the board, and then Kinji and Bomadem, who is a big piece of what FC Cincinnati 2 wants to do. Keep an eye on the middle portion of your screen right there, which is the foul as Locker goes down. But Kinji and Bomadem, Tyrone Marshall mentioned this earlier in the season, and Bomadem, he's been training with the first team, moving up and down, back and forth. Did pick up some small knocks during one of his recent moves up to the first team, and he said that set him back slightly, set his progression back slightly, but he challenged Kinji and Bomadem coming into this season. Said, how can you improve and raise yourself up? How can you be a better leader than you were in 24? Not that he was a bad leader in 24, but how can you improve on the intangibles? What are the steps you're making and taking to be able to make that jump to eventually become a full-time first-team player? FC Cincinnati 2 will be forced to make an early change as Carson Locker, the former St. Louis City Academy man, the 17-year-old, will come on. Yamir Ukelmana will head off the pitch. Ukelmana, the newest addition for FC Cincinnati too, as we're back underway following the stoppage. Looking for McCamey up ahead. Daly flubs the clearance. Now an awkward pass back. Looking for Paul Walters, who will scoop that up. This portion of the match is brought to you by Etihad Airways, the official airline partner of New York City FC 2. Quickly up ahead, FC Cincinnati 2, and Stefan Chirilla with it. He'll lay it off to Daly. Locker back to Daly. Adnan will guide this all the way back to Paul Walters. FC Cincinnati Academy product as Walters signed a homegrown deal 2 seasons ago, 6th ever FCC Academy player to do so. Out of the reach of Caicedo across the touchline, and a quick throw taken. Julian Locker wrestled to the ground. This will be a quick whistle from Stephen Foster. Almost even quicker, play restarted by NYCFC 2. Now we have another whistle, and this could be more, and it will be. A yellow pulled out of the pocket of Stephen Foster as Tavon Gray taken down.
A yellow card has been issued to Cincinnati number 35, Kenji Bomadem, in the 37th minute.
Keep an eye right here on the center of your screen. Some pushing and some shoving between Tavon Gray and an FC Cincinnati 2 player. Kenji and Bomadem, the FCC 2 player, shown yellow. A busy first half for Bomadem. A goal and now a yellow card. Max Murray will head that back. All Bomadem needs is an assist, and he might have the soccer equivalent of the Gordie Howe hat trick, as they call it in hockey. Alex Rando boots that out of play. Change of possession will occur via the throw-in. Caicedo will toss it in from that far touchline. A flurry of opportunities for FC Cincinnati 2 early on, but since then, after the 20th minute, it's really settled into more of an even match. FC Cincinnati 2 has started to close that gap in terms of possession numbers. It's less of a disparity as what we saw in the early goings of this contest. NYCFC 2 does have the advantage in total shots, still just with the 1 shot on target as we come up at the tail end of this first 45 minutes. There's a whistle and a foul. Now Max Murray whistled for the infraction, and a little bit of mixing it up after the whistle. FC Cincinnati 2 taking some exception to Murray standing over. Max Murray officially shown yellow.
Yellow card has been issued to New York City's number 20.
Right there on the right side of your screen. Stephen Foster, 23 in white. Max Murray having a discussion. He shows Murray yellow, and you can see the reaction from Max Murray as this nudged wide toward the byline and out for a goal kick. By no stretch of the imagination is this a rivalry between NYCFC and FC Cincinnati, but Tyrone Marshall acknowledged earlier in the week, he said, look, these teams, oh, some danger there at the back, very nearly fired toward goal. Alex Rando, good reflexes to quickly react. Some struggles dealing with the mid-block from FC Cincinnati too. Now there's a whistle and a free kick given. This will slow play down a bit, but Tyrone Marshall, he admitted that for whatever reason, these teams get up for playing one another. And it's always a hard, grinded out, very workman-like contest between these teams. He went on record of saying, look, both teams, especially us, we're expecting a dogfight when we go up there and we play them. It always is. Pressure applied here by Chirilla, one back by Chirilla now. Chirilla looking for the cross. Tries the lift ahead, worked back onto Chirilla now. Chirilla's cross. That falls behind goal, and it will be a goal kick. But in keeping with that idea of a dogfight, it has been a physical contest in this first half. Already 14 combined fouls, 2 yellows. Tavon Gray and company will have a throw in. Consecutive throws coming for Gray and company. It's into Locker for NYCFC. Reed trying to negotiate through defenders, cannot. One back again by FC Cincinnati too. Continuing to dominate the midfield. And this first half is FCC 2. Adnan, he goes down, a whistle sounds, and there will be more. A quick yellow pulled out of the pocket of Stephen Foster, and that time Piero Elias is shown yellow. Very easy to hear from our vantage point the displeasure that FC Cincinnati showed with that foul. Keep an eye on the left side of your screen right there. After Adnan tries to clear it away, Elias comes in late, goes to ground, and catches the foot of Noah Adnan. Elias, a player that haunted FC Cincinnati too in their most recent matchup last year, had a brace en route to that 3-1 win for NYCFC. Coming up at the half, as a reminder, stick around for our halftime report, highlights, stats, as well as a video showcase about Women's History Month, taking you down to Chattanooga, Tennessee, to meet some of the women of MLS Next Pro. All coming up during our halftime report. Amir Daly with the throw in for FC Cincinnati 2. Back to the point of attack for FCC 2. Now headed on, a glancing header from Yorkaiv Caicedo. Again, some congestion, some trouble at the back for NYCFC. That time came away unscathed, but they have had some troubles with communication back there between the back four and Alex Rando. One back by Daly, who goes down, helped onto Chirilla now. Chirilla looking for Mbomadim through the middle, couldn't find him. Advantage played now to NYCFC 2. Elias carries it ahead, his pass cut out, it falls to McCamey. Cycling it around over to Gray. Gray, cross, in, headed toward goal, punched away by Paul Walters. A whistle will end play and end NYCFC's opportunity. A look at it once more. A pinpoint cross from Gray onto the head of Elias, but right there on the left side of your screen, out with the punch comes Walters, and Reed makes contact. Officially 2 minutes of added time at the end of this half. Walters gets play back going, former Northwestern goalkeeper. Just one season at Northwestern for Paul Walters. Worked ahead. There's Akoba. Flung to the outside. Caicedo will run this down. Caicedo wants to cut back inside. Can't get past Tavon Gray, who will clear it out for an FC Cincinnati throw-in. Caicedo's throw. It finds Akoba. Akoba desperately seeking support, hounded by defenders. Helped on to Andre Chirilla. Now back outside, Mbomadim. Mbomadim rolls this central, cut off by Alex Rando. Up ahead to McCamey now. McCamey, eyes forward, wanted Piero Elias. Piero will go down. This will be a free kick given. Baera restarts play. McCamey will cycle it back to Mponsa, and there's the whistle from Stephen Foster. Halftime in the Big Apple. A bright start for FC Cincinnati 2. 2 goals within the first 20 minutes. Our score at the half, FC Cincinnati 2, NYCFC 0. As we go to break, take another sneak peek of our all-access piece on the 2024 MLS NEXT Pro Cup Final, out now.
Welcome to the 2024 MLS NEXT Pro Pick Your Opponent, or PYO as the kids are calling it. To be able to pick your opponent, if you finish at the top of your conference, you should have that right. And we're giving those teams here that exactly. We now turn the page to Philadelphia Union 2. Who is going to be your selection?
We wanted to pick someone that our fans love to hate and could get behind the game, but unfortunately Red Bull wasn't available for this call, so we went with New York City FC.
The #1 overall seed North Texas would surprise us by not selecting a conventional pick.
Vancouver has been a very good season. They play really well, but we want to try ourselves.
It is time to kick off the 2024 MLS NEXT Pro playoffs. We start today with the conference quarterfinals in the Eastern Conference.
We welcome you to the Western Conference playoffs in MLS NEXT Pro.
The Eastern Conference quarterfinals continue.
The stage is set for the postseason. A terrific matchup on hand today.
If I got it, then I bought it. Take a bite, 'cause I want it. And I know I got the taste for the cake, and I take what I make and I flaunt it, flaunt it. Got diamonds on my necklace, I live how I like, so looks is getting reckless. I'm feeling myself and you can't break my vibe. I'm feeling myself and you can't break my vibe. You can't break my vibe. You can't break my vibe.
action.
I know I'm fully attracted. I'm hanging on like a fridge to a magnet. The jigsaw with all the right pieces. You and me, we go good together. You and I go good together. You and I, we go good together. We go good together.
Should be a fun season of MLS Next Pro. Oh my! Pedrinho wins it!
Back in New York, halftime at Belson Stadium, 2-0 in favor of FC Cincinnati 2. Highlights and stats are coming up later in halftime, but first, it's Women's History Month. So we take you to Chattanooga, Tennessee to meet some of the amazing women who work in MLS Next Pro.
Mariah Bernanke. I am the Director of Sports Medicine at Chattanooga FC. I am also the head athletic trainer and physical therapist with the first team.
My name is Melanie Schaefer, and I'm an assistant athletic trainer here at CFC.
I started out in performing arts, being an athletic trainer for an off-Broadway show, so I was working with professional dancers and actors, and then really enjoyed that job. Noticed things in my repertoire when I was treating and evaluating where I wanted to improve, and when COVID hit, I lost my job and I realized that was probably a good time to look into some continuing education. Decided on physical therapy school, went to University of Delaware, and then once I graduated, in that time, I did an internship at Notre Dame where I worked with their women's soccer and men's lacrosse teams, and once I graduated, I landed a spot here at CFC.
My path kind of starts a bit ago in 2017 whenever I was still in college. I had an intern class my senior year with an athletic trainer, and little did I know he was actually the head AT for CFC, and I pretty much told him like how much I love soccer, and I was obviously interested in athletic training, so he invited me to work with him over the summer after I graduated, and that's kind of where I developed my love for CFC and just the passion that a lot of people have for Chattanooga FC, and the care and the family-orientedness of the club.
Since I've been here at Chattanooga, this role has grown in that I oversee not just the first team, but the other teams that we have had and that we're going to have. So I oversee the athletic trainer on the women's team, and then I'm also going to oversee the athletic trainer with MLS Next, our academy that we will be growing. It's a lot of growth for me as far as managing and leading other people. I want to be someone that's inspiring and understanding and supportive of the people that are under me and that I'm supervising, but also encourage them to grow. So that has been, for me, my area of growth since I've been here. The connections you get to make with the players, being someone that gets to see them day to day, check in on how their day before was, but also how their body is and how they are mentally, and then getting to be with them in sometimes the toughest times of the season when they're going through an injury, but then also the most exciting times of the season when they're making it back on the field.
This year we were able to get a lot of new data collecting equipment, and I haven't really been around a lot of that. So as an athletic trainer, being able to take the time to learn these tools, how do we apply them to the guys, how do we use them in our rehab, that's been super fun, and I'm looking forward to learning more this year.
Visibility is huge, seeing more women doing it, but I think if we're going all the way back to young children, so elementary, middle school, high school, getting more women involved in STEM is, I think, where we need to start for athletic training and physical therapy, and just educating on the opportunities, because it's, how's a child going to know that they're interested in something that they don't know about, that they don't know is out there to get involved in.
My mom worked in the healthcare field, so I grew up around it, so to me that was normal, whereas I understand that other people, that isn't their norm, but having that opportunity or that vision of being able to see themselves in any career that they choose.
For me, Women's History Month is recognizing people that have had to prove themselves in a field throughout history. And I think that, especially now, I see so many more women represented in sports that it is really encouraging for me, and I hope it's encouraging for other people to know that women have a place in the world of sports. I think one way to recognize women is through equal pay, especially in the sports world, but also through all occupations. If women are doing the same work as men, I think that they should be paid the same.
If I got it, then I bought it. Take a bite, cause I want it. And I know I got the taste for the cake. And I take what I make and I flaunt it, flaunt it. Got diamonds on my necklace. I live how I like. So looks is getting reckless. I'm feeling myself and you can't break my vibe. I'm feeling myself and you can't break my vibe. You can't break my vibe. You can't break my vibe.
Action.
Should be a fun season of MLS Next Pro. Oh my! Pedrinho wins it!
Attracted, I'm hanging on like a fridge to a magnet. The jigsaw with all the right pieces. You and me, we go good together. You and I go good together. You and I, we go good together. We go good together.
Back inside Belson Stadium, it's halftime in New York. FC Cincinnati 2 leads it 2-0 over NYC FC 2. A chance to look at first half highlights. FC Cincinnati, a bright start, but it was NYC FC 2 getting the early test of Paul Walters in net for FCC2. Then FC Cincinnati 2 would respond as Mangione loops it in off a corner. Tega Ekoba slots it for his first of the season. Then some issues at the back, which has been a constant theme in that first half. Rando, the errant header clearance, it falls to Mbomadem. Wide open goal, and FC Cincinnati's talisman does the rest for his first. FC Cincinnati 2 very nearly gave NYC FC a late opportunity in that first half, but Baera couldn't connect with the pass. It stayed 2-0 at the break, and here are our stats from the first half. Shot count even. FC Cincinnati 2 still with just the 2 shots on target. NYC FC 2 with the single shot. The passing has been crisp for both teams, north of 85%. FC Cincinnati 2, that is something they make a point to be good at. So does NYC FC 2. After the 2 goals, it really settled in to an evenly matched contest, as those stats showed you. Here's a look at our schedule. Wednesday action currently underway. Minnesota United 2 up 4-1 right now over Sporting Kansas City 2. And then Orlando City B currently deadlocked with New England Revolution 2. That is your Wednesday action. Thursday, the reigning Eastern Conference champions Philadelphia Union will take on Atlanta United. Tacoma Defiance made a big splash in the offensive side of things, as over the weekend, Yu Sukunome scored the league's first hat trick of the season. Sukunome currently 4 goals to lead all players. A single game Friday, 4 for you on Sunday, and then match week 5 will come to a close with the Florida Derby, Inter Miami 2, Orlando City B. That game being played at the Generation Adidas Cup in Bradenton, Florida. Both teams out from the halftime dressing room as we are all set to go for the second half. Even though the scoreline slants in favor of FC Cincinnati 2, as mentioned, it has been since the 20th minute when FC Cincinnati 2 scored their final goal of that first half. It has been very evenly matched. These teams continue to trade possession, trade build-ups, trade opportunities back and forth. NYCFC still looking for a goal to try to pull one back here in this contest. The last goal for NYCFC came from Colin McCamey in the 57th minute in their Hudson River Derby loss against New York Red Bulls 2 at Sports Illustrated Stadium. Kept out of goal against Carolina Core FC, and now another 45 minutes in the books where NYCFC has yet to find a goal. Mentioned in the first half, not just the goals have dried up over the last match plus for NYCFC, but the big chance creation just hasn't been there. The creativity in the final third, held with no big chances created against Carolina Core, and in that first 45 minutes, 0 big chances created for NYCFC 2. FC Cincinnati 2 out on the pitch. Stephen Foster sounds the whistle, and we're back underway for half number 2 at Belson Stadium. FC Cincinnati 2 making 1 change during the halftime break. Monsuru Opiyemi, the Nigerian, comes in for his first action. Amir Daly, his day in the books, 45 minutes in his season debut. Along with our Season Pass crew, I'm Jake Griffith. Worked up ahead, trying to find Yorkaev Kaisedu. Instead, it's Stefan Chirilla. Worked back to the outside now. Building is FC Cincinnati 2. Rolled in behind in Bomadem. His cross cut out. McCamey Can't tightrope that line, and it is a corner won by FC Cincinnati 2. A bright start to the first half. Now a bright start out of the locker room for half number 2. An early set piece won by FC Cincinnati 2. Angled back post, headed wide. Early, FC Cincinnati 2 knocking on the door, but the opportunity pushed just wide of that near post. A whistle and a foul. FC Cincinnati 2 has struggled a bit against Chicago Fire in terms of set piece crosses, completed 0% of their set piece crosses, but they've looked better on the corners so far today. Already scored 1 corner goal as FC Cincinnati 2. Play back underway off the free kick. Here's Tavon Gray. Quickly up this near touchline. Locker can't hold on to it, but he'll get it back. Locker fights off a challenge from Caicedo. Carrizo now. Carrizo rolls it through the middle. Tried to stand up across, did Piero Elias, went down. It was nudged across that end line, and now NYC FC 2 will have their 3rd corner. Conversely, NYCFC did complete 50% of their set piece crosses. That time, though, they short the corner. Here's Gray. Gray cleared away by Chirilla. Tavon Gray picks up the pieces for NYCFC. Now worked back ahead. Baera wanted that far channel. Turned away initially. Now laid back off. Gonna roll it in behind. Clearance deflected. And it will be another corner. Four corners now for NYC FC 2. Locker, in swinging ball, cleared away. Hit off the volley by Gray. Overhit at that by Tavon Gray as it goes sailing out. Headed back on by NYCFC. Seymour Reed, he comes up limping. Quick whistle from Stephen Foster and a free kick given to New York City FC 2. Reed on that homegrown deal signed midway through March with NYCFC from their academy side. Now this work back outside to Elias. Laid off, shot deflected, falling through. Caicedo up ahead, Stefan Chirilla. Fighting through challenges applied by Peter Molinari. Stefan Chirilla back to Andre Chirilla and back even further to Paul Walters. There's Andre Chirilla. Poor pass at the back from Chirilla. Carrizo was right there. It forces Chirilla to clear it out. Another corner now for NYCFC 2. Their third already of half two. NYCFC shorts the corner into Gray. Back to Carrizo. Carrizo's cross. Bouncing through, it falls to Reed. Elias from distance blocked. Locker can't clear it. Deflected back to that byline, but the flag is up. And a whistle will wash it out. After a quick start for FC Cincinnati 2 to the second half, conceding 3 consecutive corners to NYCFC 2. That's an area that Tyrone Marshall said the biggest place his team needs to grow in. The 5 to 10 minutes after they give up goals, or after they score goals, I should say, he said that's where they're most vulnerable, but also at restarts in general. And that includes starts and stops mid-play, but also starts and stops of the half. And now here comes FC Cincinnati 2 again. Pass cut out and one back by New York City FC. Lifted ahead to Carrizo. Looking to roll it in behind. Played through is Seymour Reed. Reed can't get past the defender. That is outstanding defending by Brian Schaefer. Forces Reed into a foul at that. Tyrone Marshall's FC Cincinnati 2 side. They had that week off to really tweak things, really get better, and it has shown through one half of play. The 2-0 lead as Walters gets play back going once more. Back on it now is FC Cincinnati 2. Koba through traffic, couldn't take the touch. Battling around, one back again by FC Cincinnati 2. It's Locker. Fights off a challenge from Carrizo. Coughed up though to Baera, who wins a throw in for NYCFC. NYCFC showing some aggressiveness there on that defensive duel, as it's worked back out wide again to Baera. Looking for options, lays it off to Elias. Joining the attack is Tavon Gray. Gray stands across up, back post. Not on line to Baera. It will be an FC Cincinnati 2 throw, but that aggressiveness that I alluded to on defensive duels, that's an area that Matt Pilkington wants to see more of from his young NYCFC team. He said how they are in defensive moments will be key to them winning this match. Can we be aggressive? Can we be brave? Says the message this week has been for his team to get back on the ball as quickly as possible. Here they are back on the ball after the FC Cincinnati throw in. Gray gives it up to Molinari. Again, looking to roll it in behind to Reed. They are marking Seymour Reed very well. This portion of the match is brought to you by St. John's University, the official undergraduate partner of New York City FC 2. Here's Murray. Ahead to Tavon Gray, now out wide. It's Locker. Back through the middle, Molinari now. And Ponce gives it up. Here's McCamey, flanked by options. McCamey muscled down, no whistle. FC Cincinnati 2 will win it back and clear it away. FC Cincinnati gets as far as the midfield stripe. One back by Max Murray and company. It is out for another throw in for New York City FC. Worked ahead to Carrizo. Carrizo cuts to his left. Still Carrizo now. Carrizo tries to thread it back through. Unsuccessful. Counter-attacking, though, is New York City FC. Off the turnover in the midfield. Another turnover. Starting to turn the screws now is NYCFC 2. Locker serves it wide. It's Gray. Gray rolls it behind. Elias now on the byline, tries to center it. Corner one, fourth corner of the second half now for NYCFC 2. In swinging, punched away by Walters. Off the volley, the shot won't make its way through. Locker back onto Carrizo now. Gray hits this, back stick, headed away again. Attacking in waves right now is NYCFC. It's one back though by FC Cincinnati. And that just clearing the lines, able to take the pressure off. Murray, he'll give it up to Tavon Gray. FC Cincinnati had the early opportunity minutes in off the corner, but since then it has been all NYC FC2 in this second half. Looking to work it out wide. Caicedo heads it away. It falls back to Molinari. Flicked back on. Andre Chirilla with the clearance. Now Ikoba to spring FC Cincinnati forward. How about the hold-up play there from Tega Ikoba? Just waiting for options. It plays into what Tyrone Marshall told his team earlier this week, finding moments to exploit space, but also being patient with that ball. Now FC Cincinnati 2, solidly in control of possession. Mangione has to fight off a challenge from Reed. One back again, off the duel from McCamey. Back on it now is FC Cincinnati. Advantage played as Locker will lay it off. Schaefer gives it up to Andre Chirilla. Long ball through the middle. It falls to Ikoba. What a touch taken in traffic. Back out wide in Bomadem. Whip to the top of the box. Stefan Chirilla can't hang on to it. A strong challenge from Caicedo. One back by FC Cincinnati 2. Now FCC's turn to spend time in this end of things. Worked through to Mangione. Falls back to him. Bomadem fires it high off the volley. What a hit from Kenji and Bomadem. Has one today. Given right back up off that half volley. Just had a go of it. We've officially played over an hour. Still the goal from Kenji and Bomadem in the first half, back in that 19th minute. The last goal scored, FC Cincinnati 2 with 2 goals in the first 20 minutes. Now here's Seymour Reed for NYCFC. All alone, work to the top of the box. It's Gray! Gray sails that high, and that will give FC Cincinnati a chance to bring on Juan Machado, the Colombian national.
He replaces number 88, Andre Churila.
How about the response in this second half from NYC FC2, I should say. You come in down 2 goals, gave them up early, but since the second half has started, 5 shots, 4 corners for NYC FC2. Still seeking that elusive first goal, have not scored since the 52nd minute against Red Bull New York 2 in the Hudson River Derby, now over 2 matches ago. And Ponce gives it out to Baera. Drew Baera completing 91% of his passes today. Worked over to McCamey. McCamey, long ball over the top, racing in behind. Molinari will catch up to it. Left off, deflected. Elias gets it back. Still Elias now. Cuts to the byline. Elias gives it up, McCamey. Elias pass, deflected. Molinari will work it back to Max Murray. Up ahead, wanting Molinari, cleared away from him. Now Carrizo just couldn't keep it in. This portion of the match is brought to you by Adidas, the official kit supplier for New York City FC2. It will be an FC Cincinnati 2 throw in. Meanwhile, NYC FC will make a change. Chris Teo, the former Rutgers Scarlet Knight, he will come in. Fourth appearance of the season for Teo. Rolled out wide to Caicedo. Plenty of space to move for Yorkaev Caicedo. Gives it up to Stefan Churila. Now losing ground is FC Cincinnati. Machado plays this back to Walters. Max Murray will head that back on. It falls to Locker. Julian Locker now carries it wide. Locker's cross, deflected away. Back to McCamey. Battles off a challenge from Kinji and Bomadim. McCamey with it again. Here's Molinari. And Ponce over to Tavon Gray now. Gray hits this. He's looking back post for the cross, headed away instead. Now flung forward in the vicinity of Tega Ikoba. Flanked there by Max Murray and Tavon Gray. Ikoba goes down, but official says play on. Carrizo. Locker cutting to the end line. Julian Locker goes down. NYCFC wants the whistle. They won't get it. Now Gray volleys it to the back post. McCamey from distance won't make its way through. Walters punches it out, and we have a whistle for a stoppage from Stephen Foster. Looks to be to check on the injured player, that is Tega Ikoba. Still down is Ikoba. Came up lame immediately after that defensive duel against Max Murray. Keep an eye right here on the center of your screen, 45 in blue. There's Murray right there battling with Ikoba. Tavon Gray also in on it there. And immediately you see Tega Ikoba goes down. 45 in blue is back to his feet, though, on the left side of your screen. A double change set to be made by FC Cincinnati 2. You can see Tega Ikoba, not a welcome sight if you're Tyrone Marshall and the FC Cincinnati coaching staff. Struggling to put any weight on that left foot. They will bring on Will Kiesel and Alfredo Chavez. A strong second half for NYC FC2. Still no goals to show for it, however. But since that second half started, up to 7 shots, 4 corners for NYC FC2. They have the advantage in shots, 10-6. Matt Pilkington had said coming into this match, a quick turnaround, but he wanted his team to be better at generating opportunities. They've generated shots. The problem is getting those shots on target. Just 1 shot on target tonight for NYCFC. That won't be enough to cut it if you're hoping to pull a goal or 2, in their case, back. During that break, New York City FC also making a change. Evan Lim, the 16-year-old academy player, he will come on for the first time tonight. Gray battling in there with Alfredo Chavez. Rolled up this near touchline. Now a player goes clattering to the ground, out of play. It's Maximo Carrizo who wanted a foul. He won't get it. Stefan Chirilla splitting defenders. Tries to get past the last one, and Elias cannot. That ball falls to Reed. It's poked out. NYCFC will have a throw. Elsewhere around MLS Next Pro, Orlando City B officially takes down New England Revolution 1-0. That's a big result. New England Revolution has had a strong start to the campaign. Came into that match 2-0-1, tied for 3rd place in the East, along with this NYCFC 2 side. Everyone in the East looking up at Chattanooga FC with the 11 points, but now Orlando City B, with that win, will move, at least for today, into a tie for first points-wise with Chattanooga FC. Minnesota United 2, 4-2 over Sporting Kansas City 2. Talk about a dream start to the season for Jeremy Hall, head coach of Minnesota United 2. There's a whistle. 3 matches, 3 wins for Minnesota United 2. Currently 2 off the pace of West leaders St. Louis City SC2. Here's Locker now out wide. Locker looking for the cross. He'll peel this back and lay it off to Gray. Gray heads for the corner. Gray, cross. Headed on by Molinari. Reed to Elias. Lifted out wide, back to Locker. Tries to center, deflected. Still with it is Locker. Can't get past Will Kiesel. Gray to Carrizo, touched inside. It's Locker. Backheeled to Carrizo. Centers one, deflected in! NYCFC2 are on the board. Their hard work paying off. 2-1. This all set up by Max Murray, who kept the possession alive, then worked back inside to Carrizo, who centered one. in the vicinity of Seymour Reed. May have taken a deflection off a defender. Nonetheless, the Pigeons with life now in the second half. Quickly off the restart, though, it's Stefan Chirilla. A shot from distance, parried away by Alex Rando.
Scored in the 71st minute by number 74, Seymour Reed. For Reed, this is his 4th goal of the season.
Quickly off the restart, Stefan Chirilla trying to generate some kind of offense, looking to get their 2-goal lead back. Tyrone Marshall challenged his team to be better on restarts. That's a pretty good response off the restart of play if you're FC Cincinnati. Second corner of the second half. It's shorted in. Rolled back through. This one played central, deflected away. It falls to Elias. Heavy collision on the outside. NYCFC will have the throw. Seymour Reed, the goal scored just minutes ago for NYCFC, his 4th of the season. Lead pass ahead, it's Gray. Gray, back post, headed high. Walters through a crowd will grab it. This portion of the match is brought to you by Etihad Airways, the official airline partner of New York City FC2. There's a whistle as Stefan Chirilla taken down, and that will be a free kick right at the midfield line for FC Cincinnati 2. Lifted ahead on the outside, looking for Mbomadem. Volleyed ahead by Opiyemi, and out of the reach there of Stefan Chirilla. Lifted ahead, headed toward Paul Walters. Good defending again from Brian Schaefer, the 22-year-old former South Florida Bull has played well there at that center back spot tonight for FC Cincinnati 2. There is a whistle that will bring this match to a stoppage. Max Murray is down. And behind the play, there was some real pushing and shoving, mixing it up between Stefan Chirilla and Max Murray. Murray has to be careful. He's already carrying a yellow in this contest. Stephen Foster, our center referee, having a very animated discussion with both of those players. And Stefan Chirilla and Max Murray admonishing them. Play will get back going with a drop ball, and we are back underway. Murray heads it forward, headed back on by FC Cincinnati 2. It falls to Locker. Carson Locker trying to turn on the ball. Julian Locker, of no relation, wins it back. Here's Carrizo now. Flight on his feet is Maximo Carrizo. Got past one challenge, then taken down, and that will be a free kick. The physicality starting to pick up as this contest drags on, giving shades of their most recent matchup. The three combined red cards in stoppage time, something to keep in the back of your mind, just to give you an idea of how unfriendly this contest between these sides has been at times in the series history. Cleared out, throw given to NYCFC. Looking to work it inside to Seymour Reed. Now finds himself tied in the golden boot race with Yu Sukunome from Tacoma Defiance for most goals in the league. But more importantly, giving NYCFC life in this second half. Monsuru Opiemi will head that out, and a quick throw taken. This NYCFC squad down, but never out, as they've showed already this season. 2 goals scored against Crown Legacy past the 80th minute. Now this rolled ahead, it's Reed. Tries to sidestep a challenge and cannot. Max Murray will pick the pieces up. Now Mponsa. Julian Locker. He'll get it back. Now worked outside. Carrizo. Elias. Back to Locker now. Things starting to build again for the Pigeons here. Carrizo has it knocked away. Now Elias crosses one in. Falls to Tavon Gray. Worked back toward goal. Paul Walters is there underneath it. If NYCFC2 was playing where the first team plays, Yankee Stadium, you might call that a can of corn, as they do in baseball. But here at Belson Stadium on the campus of St. John's, it's just a rollout from Paul Walters to get play back underway. Played ahead to Mponsa. Mponsa, former Wake Forest all-conference performer, the past and the future for Wake Forest, and head coach Bobby Muse out on the pitch right now. Will Kiesel, a second-half substitute for FC Cincinnati too, committed to play his college at Wake Forest, alma mater of Prince Mponsa. Kiesel with it now. He'll give it up to Chavez. Helped along over to Locker. Now Mangione. Pass out of the reach of Kinji and Bomadim. One back by Mponsa. Now here's NYCFC countering. Advantage played. What a ball. Rolled ahead to Carrizo. Out wide. This one centered just behind the man. Scooped back up by NYCFC. Carrizo with it now. Touched inside, it's Gray. Gray shot, stopped by Paul Walters. All set up by a brilliant ball forward to Maximo Carrizo. Seymour Reed passed just behind Julian Locker. Otherwise, it'd be 2-2. Instead, FC Cincinnati breathing a sigh of relief. They maintain control of the lead, 2-1. Lifted ahead. Stefan Chirilla on it. Knife to the outside. Chirilla goes down. Official says no foul. Intercepted by Carson Locker. They try to work it ahead, back to Stefan Chirilla, and Mponsa read the telegraphed pass and intercepted. Up ahead, Julian Locker. Locker takes it wide. Now cuts to the end line. Still Locker, tries to center. Locker's second ball deflected. Thumped away for a clearance. Chirilla tries to get past the defender, takes Amponsa down, and that will be a whistle for a free kick to NYC FC. Play quickly restarted. Here's Evan Lim. Left that pass short. Countering now is FC Cincinnati 2. Stefan Chirilla has been very active up front in this second half for FCC2. Couldn't get past the defender though that time. Elias battling to win that ball back. It will be a throw in for NYCFC. Ahead to Carrizo. Carrizo trying to snug that onside line. Over to Gray. Now back to Carrizo. Stands a cross up, headed away. It falls back to Lim. Carrizo, Lim, Tavon Gray looking for the give and go. All over it defensively was FC Cincinnati. Kenji Mbomadem, another ball recovery for FCC2. Change of possession will occur via the throw in. FC Cincinnati 2 as a team so good in terms of those ball recoveries. Fourth most defensive interceptions per 90 this season in the league. Cleared out consecutive throws now for FC Cincinnati. A whistle from Stephen Foster. Another stoppage. FC Cincinnati 2 trying to snap a 4-match losing skid dating back to last season, and they were upended in the MLS Next Pro playoffs. The month of April historically has been very kind to FC Cincinnati, 4-1-2 over the last 2 seasons. They've won 3 of their last 4 in the month of April. Trying to make it 4 of their last 5. 6 minutes plus stoppage time left in regulation. And Ponce with the clearance. Here's FC Cincinnati 2. Laid off to Carson Locker. Mangione able to steer this one back to Juan Machado. Rolled in behind, Chirilla can't keep it in. That's out for an NYCFC throw. Elias able to battle through a challenge there, swung to the near side. Tavon Gray struggling with the clearance. It will be out, another Cincinnati throw in. This time on the near side of the pitch. Up ahead to Piero Elias. Now Carrizo. Pigeons win a throw. FC Cincinnati 2 has not beaten NYCFC 2 since August 27th of 2024. It was a 2-0 win for FCC2. Although the all-time series does slant in New York City FC's favor, Last season it was a draw and a win, as well as a loss in the 3 matches between these sides for FC Cincinnati 2. Locker gives it up, was looking for Baera to make that Chris Tiao, and it's out of the reach of Tiao. Walter's goal clearance. Glancing header on and out for an FC Cincinnati throw in, as Opiemi will toss it in. One of the newcomers this season for FC Cincinnati 2, signed in January. We have a whistle here. Free kick awarded to NYCFC, and they will have to retake it. And Ponce went too quickly with it. Alex Rando will play it ahead, looking for Molinari. Long ball played out wide. That one not so successful that time for NYCFC. Chirilla racing in behind. Chirilla stops. Chirilla! Cut to his right. The shot deflected though. What a defensive recovery for NYCFC 2. Look at this, 3 white shirts make it a 4th, and Molinari all get back. And Amponsa able to just step in front and catch that shot on a deflection. Here's Amponsa ahead to Julian Locker. 177 completed long passes tonight for NYCFC. So good at that, top 15 in the league this season in per match average. Carrizo knifes to the inside. Over to Molinari. Molinari tries to weight a ball forward. No one on the receiving end. There is an NYCFC 2 player down. Now back to his feet. That's Maximo Carrizo. Such a strong start to the second half for NYCFC 2. Had 7 shots in the first 15 minutes of the second half, able to get a goal back to trim the deficit down to 1. But that offense has cooled off since the 65th minute. Just 2 total shots, none on target. It falls over to Kiesel, and Bomadim has a hit, and it goes skipping wide. Play quickly restarted by NYCFC 2. Carrizo now. Here's Julian Locker on the ball, trying to get past Kiesel. He'll cut to the end line. It's a corner 1 for NYCFC, their 5th of the second half. Officially 3 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this contest. Still time if you're the Pigeons. Locker, low, line drive, slipped back toward goal, a short clearance. Carrizo goes down, official points to the spot. A penalty awarded late to NYCFC 2. Keep an eye on the center right side of your screen. Worked back on the inside. It falls over to Maximo Carrizo, who tries to sidestep Stefan Chirilla. Instead, he's taken down. The spotlight now on the penalty spot, and Maximo Carrizo scores! In stoppage time, Maximo Carrizo, the leveler, all even at 2. Walters guesses right, lunging over to his left, but Maximo Carrizo, enough pace on that ball to get it past the outstretched hands. Down but never out is NYC FC2, their 3rd goal scored in the 80th minute or later this season. Maximo Carrizo
Scored in the 92nd minute by number 29, Maximo Carrizo. For Carrizo, this is his 1st goal of the season. Well, the New York City
back underway, all even at 2 apiece. Quickly though, it's Mangione now. He'll work this one out wide, lifted in toward the near post. No one there for FC Cincinnati 2, and Alex Rando will slow things up. Here's Tavon Gray. And Ponce with it now. Lifted ahead, now headed away by FC Cincinnati 2. A whistle and a foul. One last gasp here for FC Cincinnati 2. Mangione will get play restarted. Now Stephen Foster says hold everything. They'll retake the free kick. Schaefer now lifted ahead, turned over. Now there's a whistle and a foul against FC Cincinnati 2. Stephen Foster content to let them play this out, and Ponce will wave players forward. Long ball lifted in by Ponce, headed away. There's the whistle. The end of regulation has been reached. All level at 2 apiece. But in MLS Next Pro, when the match finishes tied at the end of regulation, that is not it. 2-2 after 90 minutes of play to a penalty shootout we head.
Should be a fun season of MLS Next Pro.
At the end of regulation, since the teams are tied on the scoreboard, the match will extend to a shootout, with each team having 5 attempts. If the teams are tied after 5 attempts, they will go to sudden death. The shootout winner will receive an extra point in the regular season standings.
The point system as shown. Regulation win earns 3 points. A shootout win will get one of these sides the extra point tonight. Both have already achieved 1 point toward the table. Let's look at how we got here. It was FC Cincinnati, all FCC2 in the early goings. First, Mangione finds Tega Ikoba, who slots it off a corner and then lifted ahead. An errant header away from Alex Rando. It falls over to Kinji and Bomadim. That made it 2-0 FC Cincinnati 2, and they were dancing early on. But that would not last into the second half. Rolled to the end line. What a beautiful backheel pass from Julian Locker. This one centered by Carrizo for his 3rd assist of the season. 4th goal for Seymour Reed. But then this would set up a penalty awarded. Carrizo goes down inside the 18. Official points to the spot. Maximo Carrizo would do the rest, slotting it home in stoppage time. That sends us to a penalty shootout. That penalty, the first taken this season by NYC FC2. Have a day, Maximo Carrizo. A goal and an assist, also drawing the whistle that set up the match-tying penalty in stoppage time. Just to recap, both of these teams will get 5 opportunities from the spot. If they finish the first 5 attempts level, they will go to sudden death. Saw this a couple of weeks ago between Austin FC 2 and St. Louis City 2 at Energizer Park. As if a penalty shootout isn't exciting enough, you add sudden death into it as well. Kinji Mbomadim, a goal tonight. He will get this penalty shootout started. Mbomadim, approach, Mbomadim scores! Mbomadim going high on this short side. Diving for it was Alex Rando. Knew which way it was going, but not enough to best Kinji and Bomadim. Now Seymour Reed, a goal tonight. He will make the long trot to the spot. Has a real nose for goal, does Seymour Reed. His head coach says he's just such a pure striker of the ball. Here's Reed. Reed scores!
Round 1, it's New York City 1, Cincinnati 1.
Seymour Reed tucking it low on the near side of the net. Paul Walters didn't know about that one, and Seymour Reed makes it 1-1 to the first round. Now Peter Mangione, the former Penn State Nittany Lion, 13th all-time in program history in goals. Mangione scores! Again, Alex Rando guessing to the right side, this time diving to his right. Just enough pace on that ball from Mangione to get past the outstretched gloves of Alex Rando. Now Piero Elias. Chance to even things up through the first 2 rounds of the shootout. Elias scores!
After round 2, it's New York City 2, Cincinnati 2.
All even through 2 rounds of this shootout. Burying it low in that far corner was Piero Elias. Stefan Chirilla now. He will step up to take Cincinnati FC Cincinnati, I should say, first or third penalty. Former Philadelphia Union Academy man is Chirilla, who scores. That time, Stefan Chirilla going high, just above the lunging Alex Rando. His head coach earlier in the week said that just seeing a ball going in the back of the net in competitive action could be a lot to boost Chirilla's confidence. He scores on FC Cincinnati's third attempt. Now the onus falls on Chris Tiao. Tiao scores.
After round 3, it is New York City 3, Cincinnati 3.
No stopping these shooters so far in this penalty shootout. Both sides 3 for 3. As Tiao bests Paul Walters. Alfredo Chavez, an FC Cincinnati Academy product, had 10 goals for their U16 side last season. Ball at his foot. Chavez scores! Into the high part of the net, Alfredo Chavez puts it where Alex Rando can't get to it. The former LAFC Academy man makes it 4-3. Now NYC FC and Evan Lim looking to keep this penalty shootout going. Lim, an Academy player with the NYC FC Academy. 2 youth international caps with the US U16 team. Lim stopped by Paul Walters.
After round 4, it's New York City 3, Cincinnati 4.
That time Walters guesses right. Lim fires it level at the body of Paul Walters. A huge save in the penalty shootout. Brian Schaefer. Schaefer scores! FC Cincinnati takes the extra point in the penalty shootout as Brian Schaefer wins it.
Your final score is Cincinnati 2, New York City.
Schaefer goes toward that left side of the net. Rando guesses wrong. Brian Schaefer and FCC2 pick up 2 huge points on the road to halt their 3-match losing streak.
Host the Philadelphia Union this Saturday, April 12th for a City Field Goal opener. Kickoff is set for 7:30 p.m.
A chance to look at our man of the match. It's Kenji Mbomadim. His first goal of 2025 off the poor clearance from Alex Rando. Mbomadim rolls it toward goal in the 19th minute to make it 2-0. Kenji Mbomadim, your man of the match, as FC Cincinnati 2 hangs on in the penalty shootout for the extra point. 2 points picked up. They run their record to 0-3-1. Once again, for our entire MLS Next Pro broadcast crew, I'm Jake Griffith. Our final from Belson Stadium, 2-2 after regulation. FC Cincinnati wins it 5-3 in a shootout. Don't forget, you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at MLS Season Pass on Apple TV and MLSNextPro.com. Good night from New York.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.